Hi everybody, and welcome to Photomikes Garage. And welcome to exciting minivan content. Okay, this is my 2009 Mazda 5 minivan. Had this for many years, been cleaning it up, getting it ready. You know, I've done some suspension work. It's starting to look pretty clean, but there's a problem. Let's start this minivan up. It's very exciting. Cold start in a Mazda 5 minivan. Okay, what do we got? We got a engine light. Yeah, we got an engine light. That is not cool. Yeah, we got an engine light right there. So today we're gonna find out what that means and what I can do about it. Okay, I could take the Mazda 5 to a dealer, a Mazda dealer, ask them what the heck's wrong with my car. But those days are long over. I haven't been to a dealer in years. Basically, YouTube is the answer for almost everything. You can find out how to do anything and how to figure out what's wrong with your car yourself. You don't have to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars to go to a dealer to be at their mercy. Don't do it. As a matter of fact, to find out what's wrong with this car, why that engine light is on, I need this, which is called a smartphone. I need one of these little dongles, one of these little things. You can get these anywhere for like 20 bucks, even cheaper. And what this does is a Bluetooth connector that connects to your OBD2 connector. I'll show you where that is soon. And it will read the computer, and the computer will tell it through a program, through an app that I have on my phone, which is called, let's see if I can find it, Torque Lite. This program is called Torque Lite, a free program. And one of the things it does is read the fault codes that are stored in your computer. Okay, so where is the OBD2 port in a Mazda 5? Now, it's in different locations for different cars. Most of the time, it's on your driver's side, right underneath the dash, right about here. And I spent quite a bit of time looking for it. I couldn't find it anywhere. Usually it's right about here. You know, right about here. But no, it's actually in this little cubby. You've got this little storage cubby on the Mazda 5, and look up here. Look up there. There is the port. Kind of hidden, a little bit secretive. But this thing just plugs right in. Plugs right in. Just like that. And you'll notice that a red light shows that it is getting power. It is now connected. The next thing I'm going to do is just turn the car to the run position. All the lights are on. And I will go to my torque light, which I have open. I'll go to my settings. And look at this, fault codes, right? The first at the top. Let's check this out. Okay, show logged faults. Okay. Now, of course, the phone app has to connect up to your Bluetooth dongle down there. Oh, okay. Yes, we have two fault codes. We have a P0401 and a P0101. Two fault codes. How nice. So what we're going to do is we're going to find out by the magic of Google what that probably means. And from there, we'll know our next action to take. Now, if you went to a dealership or any place really, just to read those fault codes would have already cost you at least $100 or more. So you've already saved yourself $100. Okay, so let's deal with the first code today. That's the P0401 code. Now, I got writing here. I'm sure you can't read it because my writing is terrible, but that says exhaust gas recirculation insufficient. So that is what the code means. And what does that actually mean? Well, first of all, this is my engine bay of my Mazda 5. I'm going to take off some of this plastic, just like that. Throw this away. Throw this away. To get me access, yes. The exhaust gas recirculation valve is right here. Right there. Now what happens is that exhaust gases go through this valve and are recirculated into your intake. The computer does that for a number of reasons. I won't get into it, but that's what that is. And over time, these exhaust gases, which have soot and bits of oil and all sorts of junk in them, they start clogging up the passages and this valve right here. So I suspect that what's happened is that this valve, the passages inside have gotten clogged, and so it's not working properly. Okay, so I've had that code on this car for a while. It does not affect the drivability of the car. You can still drive the car, it's not really that big a deal. But the thing is that it's annoying. And so today, I'm going to try and eliminate that code. Oh, and another point too is that being able to read your own codes and find out what they mean is very important, because some of the codes are actually very serious, and you should take the car perhaps to a service or a dealer to get it fixed. But you don't really know which ones are serious and which ones are not until you do a little research. So that's why it's very important to at least find out what the problem is before you take the car to a dealer. So at least you're informed and ready, come what may. Okay, so the game plan today is to get to that EGR valve, unbolt it, clean it out. I've already taken off some plastic to get access. I'm also going to take this off. Everything comes off easy. Just like that. Just like that. Okay, I've disconnected the electrical connector from the top of the exhaust gas recirculation valve, which we're going to call from now on the EGR valve. There's 4 Phillips head screws. I'm going to undo that and take the top off right now. Okay, I got the top hat off. Had to be extremely careful to not let these 4 little Phillips head screws fall down into the engine bay area. Very careful. This is off, and this is just the electronic solenoid, if you will, that pushes down on right here. Pushes down on this spring. I can push down with my finger, up and down, up and down, up and down. That opens a valve inside this body, which lets the exhaust recirculate back into the intake, depending on when the computer tells it to. Removing the hat just gives you a little bit more room. It's still going to be a very difficult job. There's a bolt right here that can be reached after you remove all this junk. This bolt here is very hard to reach because this coolant hose is in the way. So this is not an easy job. I also removed the air intake assembly just to have a little bit more working room in here. It's a good idea to stuff a rag inside your throttle body. You don't want to get any foreign particles in here, so I'm going to do that. Then we got to sort of move all these hoses out of the way and disconnect this radiator hose. I also removed the lower part of the air cleaner housing because it was easy to do. It just sort of fits into these little grommets here, one here, and you got a little rubber band type of thing you have to take off here, and you just got to pull it out. And now we have even more room to see the nature of the difficult situation that befalls me. Okay, I'm taking the clamps off, but this doesn't want to come off. Now this is plastic, at least it looks like plastic, so you don't want to really beat on this. I wouldn't want to crack this, that's for sure. So basically, got to take it slow and easy and start working this hose off. Got the radiator hose off, and of course coolant came gushing out, so you're going to lose some coolant, not all of it, but some of it. So be prepared for the mess. And of course, I am not prepared at all. Also, make sure you wash this off of your driveway, because actually animals find this liquid very attractive. It's sweet and they drink it like a cat or a dog, and it's highly poisonous. So make sure you wash down your driveway if this happens to you. I also disconnected this little hose. This little hose right here, so that when I finally do get the EGR valve off, it'll come off, because this hose is attached to the EGR valve. So disconnect it right here. Now I've got to move this wire loom out of the way, and it's connected right here with a little plastic clip, and I have to use pliers to pull the two little prongs on the inside together so that it will come out through the hole and get this sucker out of the way. Okay, with the help of a screwdriver, I got that little clip released on the back there. Now I can move the wire slightly out of the way, and you can see what we're dealing with here. We got to get this bolt undone, a 10mm bolt. That looks easy. And we have another 10mm bolt right here, and that does not look easy. A direct line from that bolt hits the water outlet for the radiator, for the engine, and so therefore we have to use a creative solution. And I don't know what that is. Okay, as predicted, the one that's closest to the front of the engine came off fairly easy, but I still found a way to cut myself. That's good, it's traditional. For this bolt here, this bolt right there, that bolt right there, there's no way to get it out except with maybe extensions and swivel connectors and, you know, praying to your God. But I think I can do it with what I've got right here. Okay, there you go. Can you see it? Okay, so this is an extension, which I call like a sort of a wiggle room extension. It's got a little cutout right here, so it allows a little bit of fore and aft movement. That might do the trick. And then I've got it connected to a 3/8 adapter, 1/4 inch to 3/8 adapter, because I think I need a little bit more leverage to get this bolt off. I already put the socket on already. It's already on the nut. And now let's give this a try. Oh yeah, see, that's going in there. That's going in there. Let's see. Oh, did it. Success. Can you see that? No, you can't. Anyway, success. Okay, this is the combination that did it. A regular 3/8 wrench, to an adapter, to a 1/4 inch extension, to a 10mm socket. And as you can see, this extension, like I said before, has little cutouts right here. It allows the socket, as you can see, to swivel. I don't know the technical name of this type of extension, but I call it the wiggle extension. It may have a more technical name, but that allows you just enough room to go underneath the that allows you just enough room to go underneath and just get that bolt loose. So there you go. Alright, that actually wasn't as difficult as I thought it was going to be. You don't really need any special tools, but except for that little swivel head extension, which actually seems to be quite common because I never even picked that out. It just came that way on my tool set. So just look for that and you will be able to get that bolt out. Even though when you first start working on this project it looks impossible, as you can see, it only took me about maybe 15 minutes to get the EGR valve out. And there's the EGR valve. These are the two bolts, looking in good shape. This is a metal gasket. You do not want to lose this. You want to keep this and reuse it. It should be possible. Now, if you want to do everything the proper way, which I almost never do, you will get a new metal gasket, but I'm going to reuse it. Here's the EGR valve, and there's a little spring And when the computer tells it to, it plunges down and opens a valve. There's the valve opening. I think you can see that. And it's sooty and dirty inside, and that's what we're going to clean. This whole interior parts, and what we're going to use is brake cleaner. After we clean all this, we're going to put it back on, and hopefully that'll take care of the P0401 code that I got. Okay, there we have brake cleaner. I've got the non-chlorinated, so it's not as lethal, but you should be wearing gloves when you do this, by the way. In here as well. Okay, it took a lot of work, a lot of patient scraping with a little screwdriver, but I think I've got the inside of this pretty darn clean. Took out a lot of black carbon, and the plunger works no problem. So now it's just time to put it back in the car. Okay, it's time to put it back on. As you can see, this is our EGR valve. I've got the gasket back in place. That has little tabs on it that lock into the threads of the bolts. So you just thread the bolts on, and that's going to hold the gasket in place as we try to reattach this. I almost forgot this bracket has to go on before, and then put the bolt through. You got to have this bracket. So now we're ready to go. Okay, just about all on. We got this bolt tightened up. We got this bolt tightened up exactly the opposite way of what I did before. And now we got to put the hat back on. We got our hose connected back up to our throttle body. So we just got to connect all the hoses, put the hat back on, and we're done. All right, everything is back together. And, oh, by the way, don't forget to take out the rag that you stuffed inside the throttle body, because if you don't take that out, the car is not going to run very well. So the whole of the air intake is back on, the filter, everything. This plugged back in, all the hoses plugged back in. So now it's time to start the car and see if it runs. It's alive! Okay, everything appears to be running fine, but there's still the engine light. Now, what you can do is just run the car for a certain period of time, and that engine light should go out after enough cycles, but the other way to do it is simply clear it yourself. And to do that, we go back to our trusty OBD2 adapter interface. This little guy here, we're going to stick him in like we did before. Then we go back to our smartphone and we go to, oops, we go to torque light. There we go, torque light. Open that. It should connect up to the car now. Welcome to torque light. Yes, okay. Settings. Okay, fault codes. Okay, fault codes. Show clear logged faults. There we go. Clear log faults. And as you can see, the engine light is out. There you go. It is cleared. At least for now. All right, everybody, the job is done. You can see how relatively easy that was to get the EGR valve out, although at the beginning it looked almost impossible. As you can see, it's not impossible. You can do it yourself. You can clean it. And the only thing is, to get that one bolt at the back, you might need a wobbly, whatever you want to call it, extension that will allow the socket to be flexible, you know, to move back and forth a little bit. Anyway, thanks for watching Photomikes Garage. I will see you next time.